And now it's time for the fastest growing sports show on the internet today, JD's Rockin' Sports. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to JD's Rockin' Sports on this Saturday. It's really, it's one of those days where you don't know if it's sweater weather. It's, it's one of those things, man. So I went with the sweatshirt because I don't want to do the official unveiling until I'm ready to go to Twin Peaks and catch the playoff game. Yeah, because I go to Twin Peaks for the food.
I might join you over there.
For the food.
I'm feeling some cheese sticks today.
For the food.
Cheese sticks.
Yeah.
They're delicious.
Yeah. That's what Twin Peaks is known for. It's all about the food. They call it Twin Peaks because a couple peaks of food.
There's mountains on the logo.
All right, then. Moving on. A little off. As always, we got Aaron, who you've heard from. Aaron, what's up, buddy?
What up?
And then Brent, who you haven't heard from.
What's going on, JD?
You got a special guest calling in today.
I do. We've got Matt Ware calling in. Matt and I went to high school in Los Angeles together. And then,
so what's special about Matt other than the fact that he went to high school with you?
Other than I thought that's where it kind of all started. I mean, he may not agree with that, but no. Matt's a cool guy.
Now, if you follow football, you know who Matt Ware is, especially for like Cardinals fans and things like
Former
that.
Cardinal,
so,
yeah.
Well, that's what I thought was kind of cool. Is obviously I went off to ASU, and then he went to UCLA, and then find out that he was traded to the Cardinals. I was like, that's cool. Matt's coming back to Matt and I'll be in the same state again. But we really didn't hook up much after high school and everything like that. So it's kind of cool to be able to watch him and get a chance to talk with him, kind of see what he's up to, what if he's got any promotions that he wants to mention about, any charities or stuff like that. We'll definitely take a look at that. But
absolutely. So we definitely appreciate him coming on. He'll be on the bottom of the hour.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
And then on the phone line, we should have Ms. Veronica Harris.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
What's up, Ms. Harris? How you doing?
It's cold up here. We're dealing with this single-digit weather.
So it's a little bit more than sweater weather like we're dealing with down here.
Yeah.
I remember those days. I still have a jacket that I only wear like 2 or 3 times a year. I call it my Boston jacket. And it's an old Timberland jacket. And I'll only wear it when it gets like below 30 here.
Timberland or Timbaland, like
That's
the singer.
warm right now.
Shut up. Yeah. So how you been? How was your week?
It's been good. A lot of stuff, a lot of sports things have been going on out there. So I've been keeping busy.
Well, what's one of the things that you've been keeping your eye on?
Well, unfortunately, as you know, at the beginning of the week, lost a giant in the industry. Mr. Stuart Scott lost his battle with cancer. So, I mean, for me, that was huge because waking up, when I was growing up, first thing in the morning, when I turn on my TV as I'm getting dressed, it's, Sports Center. And I was listening to him, and I love to hear him say, as cool as the other side of the pillow. And he just was so cool. He brought swag to to sports, to sports journalism. And when he passed, I was really saddened about that. And to hear the president, make a comment about your passing and about your legacy, your life, that's huge. Because the president don't comment on this, everybody. But so when I found out he passed away, that was like really huge. And I posted something on the website, a picture of his. So, it was a lot of that going on up here. And then, of course, Odell Beckham, he made it to the Pro Bowl. And, you had his stepfather on the show, and he's a friend of mine. We ran together, so that was huge. I actually talked to him, Derek Mills, his stepfather, about that this week. So, of course, being in the New York area, everybody seems to have a man crush on him. So, constant talk about him. Then, of course, the trade 3-team trade that went on, and oh my God, everybody talking about the Knicks. But they're so depressing to watch, man. I can't watch them. They're constantly in the news. So, we talked about that. Then, of course, Kobe. Kobe always doing something. But when he talked about how AAU, like European players are better fundamentally than American players.
LeBron said the same thing.
Then LeBron came out and basically co-signed with that. And I'm like, finally, because this is what, myself and other coaches have been preaching for years. And, Gregory and I, we had a big discussion on it. And of course, I'm like, yo, Gregory.
That's right, because your brother played European ball.
Right. My brother Gregory, we basically been, preaching that forever. So finally, somebody of consequence is saying that. And, it's true. So I've been discussing that with like a lot of coaches and stuff because it is true. I'm not saying that AAU needs to go away because there's some positives to it, but there are a lot of negatives to it because they don't teach fundamentals and they don't teach team concepts. So.
Hey Veronica, I wanted to ask you because we talked about it a little on Tuesday. What did you think of the trade? My opinion, I'm not a huge fan of the J.R. Smith one because I don't think there's enough basketballs to go around for the Cavs. But I do like the Mozgov one, and he played last night. And I think LeBron loves European centers for some reason because him and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. But I think a big rim protector is exactly what they needed.
I agree.
What did you think of those two moves by the Cavs?
I think it was good. Again, it all depends on, what are your priorities? Like, what is your plan? And I'm not sure that I know or they know what is their plan. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to because they need to get better defensively, I think. Because they don't really need shooters. They need better defense. And if you are trying to get that rim protector, then that's great. That's a step in the right direction. And I think whenever you make a move, a trade, you have to say, is this filling our needs? Does this meet our need? Does this work with our plan? And like I said, I'm not sure what the plan is.
Well, my thought too was they and we touched on this, but you're the sort of basketball expert. Is they hired David Blatt before they got LeBron, and Blatt's a good European coach and guys who you don't know their name and they're good at playing a system and that kind of stuff versus a coach like, not to say he, compare him to Phil Jackson, but a guy who's used to having superstars and just kind of corralling them and rolling the ball out there. So and a lot of people are all over Blatt. And, for me, I compare it to Spoelstra. And everyone wanted to can him at the halfway point of that first season, too. And nobody knew who he was. And then they ended up doing just fine. So I think the right course of action for them is to let it alone, see what happens, and maybe let Blatt challenge LeBron. I think LeBron wants to be challenged. He was okay with Pat Riley doing that. So, I mean, I kind of wanted to see what was your thoughts on that whole situation with Blatt and the coaching.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I think you have to let a coach do his thing. Like, you have to let a coach establish his philosophy and set the identity of the team. And I think you're right on point. And what I see right now is I don't see an identity for that team. Like the Spurs have an identity. They're efficient, they're very efficient, they're plain, boring, say what you want about that, but they have an identity.
But they've also played together for a long time.
Right. They played together for a long time. But again, there is that identity, and even the ones that come in like Patty Mills or whatever, there is an identity. The Clippers, they have an identity. Golden State Warriors, they have an identity. The Bulls, they have an identity. The Cavaliers don't have an identity yet, and you got to give the coach a chance to establish that identity. So we don't know who the Cavaliers are yet. And you're not giving David Blatt a chance to establish that identity. Let him do what he needs to do.
Right. And
he needs a chance.
And you're never going to get anywhere if you can your coach every year.
Yeah.
You're just not going to work.
I think those rumors need to just stop. I don't think he's going anywhere.
No, and he shouldn't.
No, he's not. He shouldn't.
I mean, it's almost comparable to, say, a Sam Bradford or a Ryan Tannehill. Yeah. If you have a new offensive coordinator every year, of course you're not going to progress because you've got to come in and learn a new system and learn where everybody's going to be. Same thing for basketball, because you and I believe, Veronica, that you have to have a flow in a game. And if your guys don't know where to get and where to be and when to shoot, then they're going to get off kilter and they're going to miss shots.
I do want to say this. I am absolutely ecstatic to be a Celtic fan right now.
Why? Because they're dumping everybody?
Listen, they are taking a page from the Bill Belichick school of how to stockpile awesome draft picks. They just sent Wright to the Suns, Brandon Wright, who they just picked up anyway and didn't have a role for him. They sent Brandon Wright, the center, to the Suns for a 5th-round pick. But the biggest move overnight,
2nd-round pick.
No, it's
a 1st-round pick, but unless the Minnesota makes the playoffs, then it converts to 2 2nd-rounders.
Right. So then the biggest one overnight is Jeff Green is now going to Memphis, which gives them another score. So that's big for Memphis to go along with their defense. But that also gives the Celtics, they get Tayshaun Prince and his expiring contract. So essentially they bring on no money. They got rid of $5 million. They bring on another 1st-round draft pick in that trade. So essentially over the next 2 years, they have 6 1st-round draft picks and 14 total picks in 2 years. They can essentially rebuild the entire team.
Well, they'll probably buy out Prince.
Yeah,
well, it's already from to be.
It's already going to expire. Memphis is already taking on that contract,
but
it's done.
But he's old, so they can
so they can just let him go.
Hey, we'll give you $2 million to walk away, and you can go sign with whoever.
Prince still has some value,
right? But not to them.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So, they buy him out, and he can go with the playoff.
To go with Bradley, to go with Smith, to go with Sullinger and Olenek, they could essentially go out and get 6 more studs. Granted, I'm not saying they're going to go out and get all these rookies and they're going to be in the championship, but I can't wait to see 2, 3, 4 years down the road how much talent is going to be on the Boston Celtics.
Well, maybe you trade 2 or 3 of those picks for a top 5 pick.
Right.
That would be a better move because we know the NBA is made of stars.
But this year, I mean, it's early to talk about it, but who would be the number 1 pick this year in college basketball?
Somebody off Kentucky.
Willie Cauley-Stein, if he comes out. But I am so impressed with Danny Ainge. He is impressing me as a general manager. And you know who's not impressing me as a general manager is Phil Jackson. I'm sorry. He may be a great coach, but he is showing that he is a dud. I'm sorry. I may be blasphemous, and you may want to hang me by my toes, but he's not, because he got a draft pick. But that draft pick that he has, the player that he's going to get is currently now in high school.
Yeah. Well, I kind of disagree with you a little bit because
you just say I disagree with you instead of I can't.
I don't fully disagree though, but I do like what Ainge is doing. But he should have blown this team up several years ago instead of living in that fantasy world that everybody wants to go play for the Celtics. They don't.
Well,
this is a new NBA.
But look, the reason why they're doing it now is because they have a young coach that fits better with young players. They finally got him in. Before, it was the veteran coaches, the ones that have the simple systems. Stuff like that. No, now we got a young coach that really glues together well with younger players. He can really relate. That's what I was getting. Can really relate to the younger players.
And on Phil Jackson, I agree with you somewhat because I don't know how serious he is. He still lives in Montana, and he's working from home doing all this stuff, which I don't know how much he really needs to be in New York anyway. But I'd like to see what he does in maybe a full season before I can say he's awful.
That's true.
I mean, and his coach, I don't like his coach. I mean, you hired a guy who couldn't defend a folding chair out there that would run by him and score 2 points to be your coach. And did you guys hear that speech the other day? It was like something you would give before an AAU game. You know, it sounded like something out of a movie. Like They may be bigger than you, but you've got more heart. I mean, this is an NBA speech.
I wonder if Carmelo goes back to those recordings as they're saying, we're going to build this team around you. And every time he does that, he looks at the standings, goes 5-34.
And he looks at his wife and goes, "You really wanted to stay in New York? Really?"
Yeah. No, but this is one thing that Danny Ainge is better because I think Danny Ainge understands not just about. Again, I always come back to you got to understand the dynamics of how people think because Doc Rivers, being an old veteran, Doc Rivers wants power. He wanted power, and he has it in the Clippers where he's in charge of player personnel.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Stevens doesn't have that power. Danny Ainge has that power. So Danny Ainge, I think, knowing what Doc Rivers wanted, wasn't going to give that to him. So better to not to get rid of him, but wait till he's gone, and then get another coach in here that's more interested in coaching the team, building the team, and leaving the player decisions to him.
I just want to go through. Go ahead, Veronica. Go ahead.
He and Doc Rivers would always clash at that.
Right. I just want to go through real quick all the teams that Carmelo either visited or was rumored to visit, other than the Knicks. The Miami Heat, 15-21. The Dallas Mavericks, 26-11. The Houston Rockets, 25-11. The Clippers, 24-12. The Phoenix Suns, 22-17. Even the Los Angeles Lakers, who he also turned down, are 12-25. The team he is staying with has won 5 games out of 39. The team that he chose to stay with and get a ring with is 5-34.
Well, it's all because of what's her name? Is it Lola?
Lala.
She wanted to be in New York. She couldn't go be in LA. Even if she went to LA with Kobe, they'd probably have like 12 wins.
And I'm not seeing anything about her on TV unless you're actually purposely looking for her show. I'm not seeing her on any commercials. I'm not seeing anything like that. So how's that working out? How's that fame and popularity working out outside of the Northeast?
He didn't have to stay with her. He could have commuted, be bi-coastal.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. First off, I wouldn't do that either because she's fine as hell. I'll give her that.
Well, I would have been bi-coastal.
And old busted up knees Amari Stoudemire, their Knicks are still regretting that decision.
They're trying to find somebody to take him. He'll end up on the Suns again.
I just thought
there's planes, there's weekends. I would have been bi-coastal.
It's a 3-hour flight. 3-hour flight.
From where?
Well, 4 hour, whatever. LA to New York?
No, that's about a 6-hour flight.
It's not that long.
Yeah, it is. Dude, I've traveled back and forth to Boston all the time. It's about 5.5, 6 hours.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
Well, she has more opportunity in LA than New York. I don't know why she didn't want to go to LA.
New York's no longer the hub of the universe.
Well, there's movies, TV. Yeah.
I don't understand what the problem is. What the problem is.
Look, when it's that good, it's hard to leave. I'm sorry. It wasn't a career thing. It was a I need someone when I come home thing.
Please,
he's on the road
forever. Gotta make the sacrifice. Shoot.
Sorry, every time I hear forever, I just want to go forever, ever.
Forever.
We need that.
Because it's not forever. Come on, you gotta make the sacrifice.
That's true. But he obviously made the wrong move.
Gotta see the big picture.
That's him. He wanted to be a star in New York because of his wife.
He's already gone through that, though. Man, and now he's stuck there for the next 5 years. Congratulations.
This will probably be his last big contract anyway. She could make the sacrifice. He's whiz.
Anyway, other news.
Brothers always get in trouble because of women. I'm telling you.
So I wanted to talk about your city.
Boston?
Getting the Olympics, 2024.
Yep, 24.
Beating out Los Angeles over here, homeboy city.
We beat LA again. Feed LA. Yeah, we did it again. So it's normal for us.
I think it'll be cool. I mean, I was there in June, and I thought the city was nice. I don't know where you're going to have all the venues unless you're going to.
Oh, there's plenty of places. There's plenty of places in the outskirts.
But where are you going to build it unless it's not in the city?
Well, it's never directly in the city.
Yeah.
The Olympics are never directly in the capital city. It's always on the outskirts. There's a lot of nice names. I mean, there's a lot of nice. All right, I'll say it. There's a lot of nice white neighborhoods outside of Boston with plenty of land that they'll probably build this thing because that's the scenic.
I walked through South Boston. It was the day though, but I didn't feel threatened.
That's because it was the day.
Well, that's why I didn't want to go.
It was the day, and I don't know. Maybe they thought you were part Irish.
Maybe. Do I look Irish?
I don't know, man.
Maybe I should ask somebody to pack the calf somewhere.
Why does somebody always say that?
And there's something wrong with the urban areas of Boston. What you gonna say?
I grew up in some of the urban areas of Boston, so yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Are you saying that we don't know how to act?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
again, because I grew up there.
All right. Okay.
It would almost sound racist if I didn't actually follow that up with I grew up there.
He's like Eminem in 8 Mile. He grew up in a rough neighborhood. It wasn't trailer parks though.
No, it was drill parks. It was complexes.
Well, I know some Caucasian people that don't know how to act.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's Canadians. They're a whole new breed.
A lot of that in the South. Anyway, anybody else happy that Alabama's out? Speaking of the South.
Yeah.
Yes.
I miss his feathered hair though.
Well, you miss his hair.
All right, what other headlines we got? Tiger Woods playing in the Phoenix Open.
Yep, and I knew about this a week ago. They officially announced it yesterday.
It wasn't official, but yeah, Thursday, I think.
Because an idiot at some inside source that couldn't keep his mouth shut of where he's staying called out the radio station and said, "Hey, Tiger Woods is staying here." If I was Tiger, I would have packed the hell up and found another place.
I mean,
well, good luck. I hope he does well.
It's like full circle, you know. Like
I'll be covering that live, by the way.
That was like his last run of being successful.
Yeah,
you know,
I've got passes to Media Pass to cover. They only gave one.
How do you get to do it?
Because I am the sports director for Vets on Media, and as the director of sports entertainment, then they let me into a lot of stuff.
By the way, we're recruiting. Hit JD up on Twitter.
For me to go do something.
Because they're not doing anything up there right now. I told you when NASCAR comes around, you're going to be there.
Anyway, I want to ask you guys a question.
And nobody wants to cover the Knicks.
Do you guys think Tiger will be relevant?
I would say I would go cover the Knicks, but I can't. You can't get me in anywhere.
Yeah, I think the Knicks are just declining press because they're ashamed of what's going to be printed. I think that's probably what's going to happen. Unless you're actually in New York and you have to be pro New York, they're not letting any outsiders in to cover the New York Knicks. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah. But come baseball season, we're with the Nationals. We're with the Orioles.
Can't get into the
Ravens
Capitals.
off and on. The Capitals have not responded. But you know,
the Rangers, the Rangers,
the Bullets,
Devils, nobody?
Wizards. Sorry,
no,
I'm old. Bullets.
No, nobody yet.
The Rangers.
No, nobody yet.
The Devils,
Rangers, Islanders, Devils. No,
the Brooklyn Islanders.
It's a Northeast attitude. It's that Northeast attitude. They don't like outsiders.
Buckers, St. John's.
Yeah, you were on the phone with me when I submitted to Seton Hall.
Damn, not even for their alumni.
And that is funny too, because I even talked to the guy. I said my reporter is an alumni of you guys. She ran track for Coach so and so. He's like, oh yeah, really? Send me some information on it. Never got back to me. Didn't respond. All right.
Wow.
Moving on.
So Tiger Woods, you guys think he's going to ever be wearing red on Sundays?
He always wears red on Sundays.
Yeah, but he's got to make the cut first.
Yeah, well, he'll make cuts.
He hasn't made the cut in the last few events. He hasn't
played here in 2000.
I'm talking about total events,
he hasn't
not just
played
here.
Since last year.
Yeah, and he missed the cut in the last 3 events he's played.
He came back from back surgery. Leave
That's
him
my
alone. Point. Give him some time. He even fired his swing coach. Last time he did that, he went on to win the next 2 tournaments.
Well, that's my point. Do you think he's going to make it up Sundays?
Tiger Woods right now, to me, is still the biggest threat and the biggest fan drawer than any other golfer on the market. If you don't think, I mean, because seriously, who else are they actually announcing that's playing here this week? All right, in the Waste Management Open. Who else did they come out and announce and made this big story for?
Phil Mickelson.
No, he always comes out and plays here.
Exactly. And for some reason, people think he's a Valley.
Well, he went to ASU.
Yeah, but he hates it here. He moved back to California right away.
Well, if I had the money, I'd probably move to California.
I'm sick of people going, "Oh, he's a Valley native." So, yeah, he played 4 years in college here.
Yeah,
That's it.
But still,
Oh,
I mean, you don't think that when draft time comes around, they don't want to draft somebody from ASU?
Some guys set their foot here in the state. Oh, they're a hero.
Phil Mickelson, but he's a fan favorite too, you know, because of what he went through and battling the illness and all that stuff. So
that was his wife. It wasn't even him.
No, he had an illness too that he was battling, and injuries and pretty much everything.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember his wife. Anyway, Veronica, do you think Tiger Woods is going to be back to his old form?
I think he can, because me, I don't think anything is impossible. However, I don't think he possesses that aura of invincibility that made people fear him. I don't think people fear him as much as they used to.
They will.
Tiger was there on Sunday. People just were choked just because they feared him so much. It was like, I liken it to when Mike Tyson. He was feared by so many that, he could just step in the ring, and by virtue of that aura of invisibility, he had people beat before he even threw a punch. But once he got, knocked down by Buster Douglas, he was never revered in that way again.
Tiger Woods is going to come back.
I think that is an issue.
You want to know why I think he's going to come back? Go ahead, ask me.
Why do you think he'll come back?
Good question. Because even in his bad rounds, where he doesn't qualify, he hits one or two shots that you're like, nobody else can hit that shot. Nobody. And he still does it. Even in his bad rounds, when he's in the woods from 220, he'll drive it through what's a quarter of a field goal post and get within like 6 feet of the cup.
No, that's very true, but I'm more concerned with the fact that when he misses those 5 feet putts consistently.
He's never missed those consistently.
Since he did last year.
He's been some of those ones where he could easily have had nailed par on certain matches. He's 2-3 over because the 5 to 10 feeters are just ones that are like. There's been a couple ones and he even short putts those.
I don't think I like your tone.
I don't think he'll be back because of Veronica's reason, but also because of the whole thing with all of his ladies. That gave him like a super sense of confidence, and I don't know if he has that.
No, he's got a good woman by his side.
Yeah, but until he's picking up random Perkins waitresses off, just by saying his name, then he gets that confidence.
I think that's
back.
what initially screwed him up.
I disagree because he was tearing it up until then.
No, once that scandal came out, it was over.
Yeah, but that's because it came out. If it never came out, he probably would have been tearing it up still.
But that's the thing, though, man. I mean, when you're playing mentally just as much mentally as you are physically. So all that's in the back of your mind of what are these people thinking about me? Now that it's had time to pass and you're the only person that's brought it up in the last 6 months, then
everyone's brought it up, and every time you talk about it,
I think it's going to be fine. I think he's going to come back and he's going to tear it up. I can't wait to see the crowd at 16, which is the party hole at the TPC Sawgrass,
and him going, "Not in my swing" when someone takes a camera shot.
No, I can't wait for him. I want to see his reaction. I want to see if he pumps up the crowd. If he does, he'll instantly become a fan favorite. If he plays well with the crowd,
yeah. And
I think he will, because you almost have to. I mean, even Padraig Harrington was kicking field goals into the stands. When they seriously, his caddy was actually holding, and he was booting field goals into the stands. I thought that was pretty damn good. But if Tiger does something like that, if he plays along with the crowd, even after saying for all these years he doesn't like playing because of that hole, if he comes out and he pumps them up, and then he puts one on the green, even if it's only on the edge of the green, the crowd's going to go crazy. They're going to love him. All it takes is one shot.
Yeah, maybe. But I think, it's a case of a Tiger now. He always tried to have a certain kind of image, but it's like the emperor has no clothes type of thing now, and you know, his slip is showing. So
why doesn't the emperor have clothes? He's the emperor. I never understood
yeah,
that. Anyway,
but
I'm picking Tiger to win it all this year. There's my selection for golf for the FedEx Championship.
Tiger, that's a problem.
I'm picking Tiger Woods to win the FedEx Championship this year.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to put money on it that says he's not going to?
I'll take the field.
For how much? 50?
I don't think he's winning it.
You want to put 50 up for it?
I don't know who will win it. I don't think it's going to be him.
Why don't you just go ahead and add 0 to that? Why don't we do 500?
I don't think it's going to be him. I don't think it's going to be Rory.
Then you should accept the bet.
I don't think it's going to be Phil, so I don't know who it is.
Are you going to accept the bet?
If you give me the field.
$500 against the field.
I think the emperor has no clothes.
We can't bet, remember?
Yeah, we can. This is a friendly bet.
Maybe off air we'll make this wager.
Why? I just said it on the air. All it has to do is you just have to say, yes, I'll do it. I'm not going to break it to you, man up.
I'm not saying anything because I don't know enough about golf.
Oh.
But I don't think he's winning
Come on. Step up and be a man. Make a choice, Justin.
I said I don't think he's winning it.
He's still a man. Better know better. He's a man. Just so you're a man.
I'm not wagering on a sport that I care very little about.
Don't let him intimidate you.
I don't have to deal with your threats. This is harassment.
Yeah,
that's assault.
Well, I'll give you a raise. Here it is. All right, let's go ahead and take it with Veronica. Ms. Veronica, before we go on break, I want to thank you for joining us. You're going to come back here a little bit later on for our selections. Where we're gonna lock down our selections for the NBA championship, where we're all gonna make choices and decisions on the spot.
Oh my god!
I will make decisions. I'm not just.
Kentucky is losing to Texas.
Upset alert! Kentucky is losing to Texas A&M. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep you posted. All right, Veronica. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Okay.
All right, we got to go to break, and we're coming back with Matt Ware. Be back.
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
Breaker 19. How about that bandit? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs host over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to JD's Rockin Sports from the iVetX.com studios in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. Tiger Woods, y'all. Tiger Woods, before the break, I went on the spot because, I can actually make a decision and say that Tiger Woods will
make
win.
a decision. I just don't know enough about golf to give you a name.
He decided not to make a decision, in which case he did, in fact, make a decision. He said, I'll take the field, but then he wouldn't take the field, and I put a 5 spot on it, and he still said no.
There's only one bet I'm making this year, and it's the Cubs to win the World Series. I'll make friendly wagers.
He wouldn't have made that bet if Back to the Future never came out.
That's true.
Thank you.
I have what doctors like to call a little bit of a gambling problem. Not really.
I don't have a problem gambling. I have a problem picking the right teams. So, speaking of which, I might actually go to the casino later. Anyway, moving on.
I thought you were golfing.
Here shortly. No, it's the weather's a little too messed up for me today. And it's not really golf weather for me right now. On the phone line right now, we're about to have Mr. Matt Ware.
Hello, Matt.
Hey,
Matt. How's it going? It's Brent over here at JD's Rockin Sports. How's everything going with you today, buddy?
everything's going well, man. How about yourself?
Doing well. Everybody, we have Matt Ware on the line joining us today. Matt's been involved with football for quite a while now. For those who may not know, Matt and I did go to high school together at Loyola. Matt was definitely the, I guess you could say, the story on the football field, both offense and defense. Went on to UCLA, where obviously he excelled again, and then was lucky enough to make it into the NFL. So we're very happy to have you with us, Matt. So we definitely thank you for taking some time out of your weekend to join us.
No problem, man. Definitely good talking to my man from high school.
Yeah, it's been a while. But I guess kind of first thing, I mean, we'll kind of be talking about kind of a bunch of things going on with your career. But how is everything going right now in the CFL? How's everything going with that?
It's going pretty well, man. Started out last year, came back up to the CFL from obviously being out of the NFL for like a year and a half, and it was a big adjustment, just getting used to the motions and all the crazy stuff that goes on in the Canadian game. So much different than the NFL. I was playing cornerback at like 230 pounds, so about halfway through the year, I moved to nickel linebacker and kind of found my niche there. And we kind of had, kind of gotten a roll towards the end of the season, almost made the playoffs, but definitely have a nice foundation going into next year.
Well, I saw that. I was looking on the roster and thing, and they had. I'd obviously always known you as a defensive back, cornerback on the defense side, and it wasn't until yesterday that I was like, okay, you're going to be a free agent. I saw this morning that they re-signed you at the linebacker position, and I mean, we always knew you were always in shape, but it definitely looked like you've beefed up a little bit. So you said that you kind of found like your niche at linebacker.
Yeah, nickel linebacker in the CFL is more of like a rover. You do like a lot more coverage. Like you're not necessarily in the box every play. You're doing a lot of covering on like the number 3 receiver and on the inside. You still have like run responsibilities, that type of stuff, but you're doing a lot more coverage than you would, a linebacker in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so it's kind of like it's a combination of the two.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it's I mean, I do appreciate you explaining how that position's a little different in the CFL, and you kind of did allude to a little bit as you are picking up um, the first season that you just had in the CFL. If you can, what would you say are some of the bigger differences of how things are in the NFL and how things are in the CFL? What are some of the subtle differences that you've noticed?
Number one, the field is wider. The field is definitely longer, so it's 110 yards instead of 100 yards. It's just a lot more space. And then the fact that, everyone can motion at the same time, you have to be able to communicate even that much better than you do in the NFL. Like, you have to be able to anticipate formations and motions a little faster than you would in the league, because, in the league, only one person can motion at a time, or, if someone shifts, they have to come and get set before the ball can be snapped. So literally you can have 6 guys moving at once, going outwards, inwards, coming at you, going backwards, so you have to communicate with guys across the field, because they're coming to your side of the field before the ball snaps. And it's chaos, but it's really fun though. It's like being, it's like being a middle infielder in baseball. Like, something's always happening,
Yeah. Well, every once in a while we'll get maybe about one game a week we'll get televised in the CFL, and that's always one thing I've noticed. If you're playing defense, you've got a guy that's starting when the play is starting. He's already been motioning from one part of the field. He's almost, when the ball is snapped, he's almost at full speed.
Oh yeah, he's definitely, depending on where he's going on the field, he can be coming right downhill as you full tilt. So yeah, it's definitely, it makes you have to be a lot more patient. Like I said, you have to be able to communicate better, and you have to anticipate. It almost would be better if guys would come up here first and then go to NFL, because it teaches you to be more patient. But
really,
it's definitely a fun game. Yeah, absolutely. You have to be more patient and be able to communicate, and it just make it so much easier when you got to the NFL, because everything's so almost like sedentary and set. You know what I mean?
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So how you liking it up in Toronto?
It's cool, man. It's a cool city. Really diverse. People are super nice, like nicer than anywhere I've ever been. Everyone talks to everyone. I yesterday I was about to hop on the train. Had my face bundled up, had a beanie on. Pretty big guy. 6'3", 225, and this little old lady. I come walking up next to her, waiting for the train. She just starts talking to me, and like it wouldn't happen in LA. So it's totally different. Definitely enjoy it. Great food, and I guess the big difference is that it's half the time it's in the single digits. So
yeah, I was
a little different than LA there.
Yeah, I was just kind of wanting to see how you adjusting to the weather. I mean, as you remember when we were in high school, we always used to hear them yell at us in the field. Stop complaining, girls. It's 80 degrees and an ocean breeze.
Yeah.
So
ocean breeze.
What's it like up there with how's the weather? I mean, do you guys have, obviously you guys playing domes and everything, but how does the weather affect, if anything?
You know what? The season was pretty much done with by the time I started to get even into the 30s or 40s, so it wasn't bad. I played in far worse in Philadelphia. Played in like minus 12 degrees in the NFC Championship game with the wind chill and stuff like that. So I played in the cold before. It never really got that cold. So the difference is just walking to the subway, from my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Try to stay inside as much as you can. The wind chill is the big thing. Like, it cuts through whatever you're wearing.
Right.
Yeah. But it's cool though. I'm enjoying the different experience.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
No, one thing, you obviously take your talents from high school on into college and then on to professional level. What would you say, because I think we kind of mention it, the difference maybe between high school and college is maybe a pass that you snuck in high school will get picked off in college, or even to the next level, maybe that pass that you threw in college gets completed, but not at the NFL level. Can you kind of speak a little bit in terms of how the level of competition goes from high school to college to the NFL? I mean, can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, in high school, there's probably 5 or 6 guys who are elite, in a game or playing against each other. So the margin for error is far greater than, when you get to college, everybody's pretty fast. You know, the big guys get a little faster, a little stronger, obviously, a lot faster and stronger. And then the skill positions are still about the same. You know, guys are fast is fast. But when you get to the NFL, the big difference is guys just have so much more mass and so much more explosive, especially the guys in the trenches. Guys are 6'6", 330 pounds, and are really running like they're tight ends or running backs. Like they can freaking run. It's like, it's scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the huge difference. Is pretty much the big guys. I mean, everyone else is, 4'4", 4'5". You have a couple guys who are 4'3". They're the game changers, but yeah, it's pretty much in the trenches when everything just starts moving really quickly. So that's the big difference.
Okay.
The margin for error once you diagnose a play is very small. Like if you're not getting there when you're supposed to be there, it's a touchdown.
Well, Matt, looking back on just right now, specifically focusing on UCLA, what was your best game or best moment at UCLA?
My best moment at UCLA. I mean, I had games that I enjoyed. I remember playing against Oregon when they were really good. I remember my freshman year against Stanford. We were down. We were number 3 team in the nation. We were down a couple of touchdowns, and I got a call from up top. It was my coach, DB coach, Coach Lil John. He called me. He's like, "Look here, son. Like we need some plays to be made. We need you to step up, And I ended up like picking off 2 balls like the second half and had like a fumble recovery. So that was a pretty big moment. Just the camaraderie of it all.
Mm-hmm.
I wish our record would have indicated like the talent level that we had. We had a lot of talented guys. Like my whole defense played in the league. But just had a good time, and then got to move on to the league and play a couple Super Bowls. So
that's cool.
Definitely blessed in that area.
Now, just see if you can explain it to our listeners. Do you remember? I'm sure you remember exactly where you were, what you were wearing, what you were eating, what you were doing. But explain what it's like when you get that call that you got drafted, when the Eagles picked you up. What's that feeling like? I mean, you always watch the NFL draft. You see people watching on TV, waiting to have their name called if they're not there in person at the draft. But what's that feeling like?
It's kind of surreal, you're sitting there watching the screen. I'm sitting there with my parents and watching the TV screen. You watch the guys get drafted, whether you know who they are or not, right? Or guys that you've actually played against. And then your phone rings, and then you see your name pop up on ESPN, at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Andy Reid on the phone. It's like, "Hey, are you ready to come play some football?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been waiting my whole life for this."
Right.
Hell yeah, just tell me, send my ticket and I'll be there. But it happened so fast, and then next thing you know, they're calling and giving you flight information, and then you're in minicamp.
So it's the coach that calls you. It's the coach?
Soak it all in like that.
So it's the coach that calls you. It's not like maybe one of the players reps. It's the actual coach giving you a call.
Yeah, Andy Reid was the first person I talked to, and then I talked to the defensive coordinator, Jim Johnson, and then the next thing was one of their flight agents. Your flight's next week. Coming to Philadelphia, minicamp. Get ready.
That's I mean, I actually remember watching. I was able to watch quite a few of your games from UCLA because obviously with Pac-12. Well, actually back then it was Pac-10. With me being out here in Arizona, we get those games. So I got the privilege to watch quite a few games at UCLA. Did get to watch a lot of when you play with Philadelphia. Like you mentioned, getting to the as a rookie, getting into the conference championship game, which is awesome. And I was thrilled when I heard that you were when the Cardinals signed you, because obviously where the practice field is, kind of out in Chandler. We can drive by there. I drive by there all the time when I'm just going around my normal business, but can't really see it too well. And I don't want to be that one person sitting out there holding up a sign, yelling Matt.
I love you, Matt.
Yeah, like Matt. You remember me, that not important guy, But
come on, man.
I mean, it was just cool for me because I was able to tell my friends. I'm like, yeah, and I went to high school with him. He played at UCLA, and a lot of my friends even knew who you were before You even came to Arizona. So that's why I was like, hell yeah, I got Matt out here. Even though I didn't get to go to any Cardinal games, we definitely, I watched a lot of them. And I was actually talking with my director this morning before we went on. We actually wanted to talk to you a little bit about special teams. Because some people are just wanting, strictly offense, ground and pound and stuff. But I don't think enough people understand how important special teams are. Because a lot of the games that I watched when you were on special teams, it seemed like you were down on the other side waiting for the guy to catch it before, like the punter, the punt returner, knew what was going on. You were almost already in his grill waiting for him to catch it, and that's again because of your speed and being able to get downfield. But I mean, I was always hearing people kind of referring to you as like one of like the special teams specialists, because but how important? I mean. Is special teams like? I mean, can you explain like how important it is? Because if you're having if your offense is not moving the ball and you're not able to get the ball down the field, if you cannot rely on your special teams to give your defense a chance,
right? But game lost. So basically, if that's the case, you're losing 2/3 of the game. So special teams is obviously 1/3 of the game, and it's a huge part of the game because if you give up a touchdown on special teams and you get a touchdown on special teams, 80% chance that you're going to win the game.
Yeah.
Those are the facts, you know what I mean? So, and for a guy like me, I was a third down defensive back, you know what I mean, or utility guy. And so that's how I kept my job, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was very important to me to play special teams and to do well at it. So, guys you make your living off of that. So
absolutely,
it's very important to me.
Absolutely. Matt, our producer, Aaron, wants to jump on and ask you, or kind of at least want to just mention a little bit about just actually how talented you are athletically. He has a little fun fact I think he wants to throw out there. Aaron, you want to go ahead?
Well, actually, Matt, I had two questions for you. One, I wanted to hear your thoughts on UCLA, where they are currently, and if you think Jim Mora is going to stay there for the long haul. And the second question, just what it's like preparing to be in the Super Bowl. It's here in Phoenix this year, so just want to get your thoughts on that.
Number one, UCLA. I'm very excited about UCLA and the program and the direction it's going in right now. I think Coach Moore has done a great job. He definitely picked up the talent level there from what it was previously, and he's bringing in great coaches. The guys are really. They're prepared well, and you can see it going to the games. And so I'm enjoying watching the games now. And I hope that he stays there for a long time because I think they can do something really special and definitely bring a championship to UCLA in the next couple of years. And preparing for the Super Bowl is definitely an experience that you can never even imagine. It's like the level of concentration and communication and camaraderie amongst the guys that week leading up to that game is just on like a whole different level than anything you've done during the year. It's kind of hard to even explain. You kind of have to kind of be a part of it. And then, the game happens and you're playing at a speed because you know what's happening almost before it happens. You've watched so much film, you communicated so much that you're playing like at a level that your body didn't even know it could go at. So, about a week after the game, you're like feeling sore still, like you don't even know why. But it's because you're playing so fast, you know what I mean?
Is it hard not to get over amped up? Like, it's the Super Bowl, I'm going to run out there, run through a brick wall. Is it hard not to do that at the start of the game?
No, to be honest, the first Super Bowl, I remember I was on the kickoff return team, and the ball was kicked, and I remember looking up at the ball, and I saw all the flash bulbs go off. And I was like running back, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool!" Like I almost got lost in the lights for a second. And then I remembered I had to block,
Like, I had to remember I got a job to do out here.
What the hell are these guys doing running at me? What are they doing?
That was definitely an experience, but no, for me, I never got nervous or anything like that. It's another game. It's the most important game that you could ever play. And so like not gonna mess up, you know what I mean? You're gonna be mentally prepared, you're not gonna leave any stone unturned so that you can go out there and play fast. And that was definitely my two experiences for the Super Bowls. You know, one being in Arizona and then one being in Philadelphia.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, one of the little fun facts that that the producer Aaron had shot us, and just kind of want to pass it on to the listeners. Now, obviously, Matt, when you were in high school, you let's see, you did football, baseball, basketball. Didn't you also do track?
Yeah.
Okay.
Track.
I think the list goes on there, obviously. But in college, you were also a two-sport athlete. But also, no, I actually do remember when you got drafted by the Mariners for baseball.
Yeah.
Did you actually play 2 seasons with them?
Yeah, I played 2 seasons over in Peoria, summer ball.
No, I mean,
definitely an experience. Because I was a shortstop in high school, so I moved out to the outfield because Nomar Garcia Parr's little brother was playing shortstop. He got drafted in the first round, and I had never been so lost in my life, especially with that the high sky in Arizona.
Right.
I would see balls go in, I would hear them get hit, and that would be next thing you know, the ball would be dropping somewhere, and I'd be running a 40-yard dash to try to go get it, and apologize to the pitcher later on.
No, but that's cool. I mean, you've definitely been blessed with talent, and I was fortunate to get to watch you in high school. Of course, I had to go to class, but that's and no, it was always cool. I mean, when I was you and I played together on the baseball team, we definitely had our laughs and everything because our baseball season was interesting to say the least.
Yeah,
but watching you go through college and on the NFL, it's kind of cool. I mean, I know a lot of people wish they were playing the game. I was always excited when I got to watch somebody that I knew play the game. That just kind of makes it a little more interesting for me. But also with your wife, you guys met in I believe I remember you guys met. I think it was your senior year at Loyola, but she was also a student athlete as well, correct?
Yeah.
And she, track.
What's that?
What was her sport?
Yeah, track and field.
Okay. No, I mean, obviously, probably wouldn't. I mean, we always figure that the person that you would end up with would be an athlete as well. But one thing that when I was texting you the other day that I wanted to ask on, remember about the organization that you were kind of working on with developing kids that were wanting to become like defensive backs that were trying to get into college or to get noticed. Is that something that you're still doing or that you picking back up?
Yeah, man. Actually, my cousin is still doing it, Matt Clark, in Los Angeles, the DB Factory. And, we had JoJo McIntosh from Shawmut High School go to UW last year. And we had a couple kids go D1, so that was definitely a good experience. And now I'm trying to get it started out here in Toronto. It's going a little slower because, kids are playing hockey and they're, that's like their big thing out here. But trying to get them trained up so that they're, become more explosive athletes and kind of get them mentally prepared for Division I schooling or whatever they need to do to get into Division I school. So, it takes a load off their parents' pockets, that type of thing. So, Matt Ware Elite Fitness.ca. That's where people can look me up, and I'm just trying to get it started out here, man. In the off season, before my season starts up again. So yeah, it's definitely a good look.
Hey, Matt, it's Aaron again. I know that they can reach out to you at MattWare22 on Twitter, but I want to ask you a question about living in Toronto. You mentioned your family. Are they out there with you, or are they still in Los Angeles and you just go out there for the season? I know you said you had an apartment. How's that working with the family life?
Yeah, man, everybody, still lives in Los Angeles, and I just have an apartment out here, and this is where I live now, and it's just keeping it going, man. Trying to stay busy and work and stuff like that. So.
Okay, and Matt, just one more time for our listeners, go ahead and give that label out. If for anyone that wants to check out what you're working with, just go ahead and give that out one more time for our listeners.
It's Matt Ware Elite Fitness.ca.
Awesome.
And you can also reach me at Matt Ware 22 on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. And yeah, those are my links right there.
That's awesome, Matt. We definitely really appreciate you, taking some time out of your day, out of your life to kind of hang out with us. I definitely look forward to to keep in contact with you. Hopefully, when we do get a game televised out here, for some reason they like to televise Edmonton out here a lot. For some reason, I've watched more of their games.
Winnipeg too, for some reason.
Yeah. So
really?
yeah, and I mean, I don't know why. So I only got to watch two televised games last year. For Toronto, but definitely I'm always looking out there, and I know I do look at the stats and everything. Followed up on your season this year, and when I was reading one of the things about them re-signing you, that your coaches were really impressed with your skill set, making that positional change from defensive back. So it's awesome just being able to follow with you. I look forward to next season, and we're actually going to. Yeah, no. We want to thank you again, and
well, no, hold up, Brandon. I'm sorry, man. This is JD, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
No
after
problem.
the break, can you stay on? I want to talk some NFL football with you, man. Can you stay on after a short break here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do that, man, because I want to get some input on the playoffs here. I want to get your thoughts on it and how bad the Cardinals looked last week and a few other things, man. We definitely appreciate you coming on, man. And if you have any embarrassing stories about Brent High School, please feel free to throw a couple of those out there. We are not shy about those things, so throw those out there too. But yeah, if you can stay online, we're going to go ahead and take a break real quick. We'll be right back. But yeah, I want to dive into the playoffs.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, bro. Thanks.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey, everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures.